Hey there. Now, if you've been following along with us, chances are you've heard us say that there's no such thing as I can't. I can't doesn't even exist, not to an unlimited being. There's no such thing. So when you say I can't, what you really mean is I won't. And take a look at your life and see all those things that you'd really like to do, but you feel like you can't. Maybe you like to quit your job, retire permanently, and live a life of ease and abundance, doing only what you want to do. But you're telling yourself, I can't do that. I got to work to make a living. If I do that, I'm going to go broke. Maybe you like to buy a dream house, but you're telling yourself, I can't do that. I'm not abundant enough. I can't afford it. And maybe you're even telling yourself, I can't be free. I can't do what Lester did. That's good for Lester, but for me, I just can't do it. Now that is total nonsense. All of it is nonsense. And why sit on limitations? Why sit on I can'ts? When you have an opportunity this lifetime, because you have a method that's right in front of you here, that is your ticket to bliss and abundance. It's your ticket to ultimate freedom. And it's not that you can't get it to work, you won't. And it's not that you can't go all the way with it, all the way to having total abundance, all the way to doing only what you want to do in this life, all the way to being totally imperturbable, having a quiet mind, and knowing, really knowing who and what you really are. Now, what's really going on is inside, I won't. So step up, take a look at that I can, and just turn it right now into I won't. Just shift those words and just say to yourself, I won't be abundant. I won't be free. I won't live the life of my dreams. Now, even though this may sound a little bit negative, I won't do this, I won't do that. It's actually a pretty positive place. And you may even feel a lift just shifting from I can't to I won't. Because when you say I can't, you got nowhere to go with that. You're stuck. And really, I can't is in the realm of apathy. You're totally stuck. You got nowhere to go. You might as well just curl up and die, right? But I won't. Believe it or not, that's stepping into courageousness. That is taking responsibility. That's saying to yourself, I am in charge. I am in the driver's seat. And maybe I don't see clearly the path to do it. I'm still in charge. I can still do it. Right? So when you say I won't, that's really giving yourself a big lift. And it really is a positive place. And now you have the opportunity to do something with it, to let go of the limitation that you've been telling yourself. And all you have to do is look right behind that I won't. Look right behind it and see if it's fear that's stopping you. Or maybe even resistance that's stopping you. And what is fear? And what is resistance? But feelings. And really what it boils down to is, I don't like my feelings. Maybe I tried to do it. Maybe I put myself out on the line and maybe I failed at it, or I didn't get the results that I was expecting to get. And I didn't like that. And it stirred up feelings that I didn't like. And so I stopped. And I suppressed those feelings. And in order to suppress them, I've been walking around telling myself that I can't. So I don't have to even look at those feelings. After all, if I can't, then I even need to look at that stuff. You see what's going on? And they're just feelings. So again, here's the challenge. You have an opportunity this lifetime to master your life, to really knock out all of the limitations and go all the way to total freedom if you so choose. So, my challenge to you is, are you going to let anything stop you? Are you going to just sit on, I can't, sit on limitations this lifetime? Or are you going to do whatever it takes? Step up and go beyond that I won't and let go of these feelings that you have. So perhaps maybe you can. Would you be willing to do that? Would you be willing to go all the way even? All the way to total imperturbability? After all, who's it up to? It's only up to you. All right, so take a look to see if perhaps you have some resistance to your feelings. Maybe you resist feeling discouraged, or you resist feeling like a failure. And these are just feelings. So measure your resistance to these feelings on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the most resistant to them, 0 being the least resistant. And just measure where you're at. And whatever that number is, if it's a 2, if it's a 5, if it's a 10, if it's a 23, whatever it is, could you just say yes to that resistance? That too is just a feeling. Could you just say yes to it? Could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And even more. Could you say yes to the resistance so you can let the resistance go? When you say no to it, you only bottle it up and you get more resistance by doing that. So we're just flipping that around. Could you just say yes to that resistance so you can let that resistance go? And even more. And even more. And measure yourself again. See if you move down on that scale of 0 to 10, or the scale of 0 to 23, if that's the case. And now, let go of pushing down on the rest of that resistance. Just let go of pushing on it. Just allow it to come up. It's just energy. And it all wants to leave. Just let go of pushing on it so it can leave. Just allow all of your resistance to arise now. Open up and just let it go. And let it go even more. And even more. And even more. And could you let it go even more? And even more. And notice what you're experiencing now. If you feel more empowered, more clear, more decisive, more feeling like I can. And isn't it worth it to you to get to the place where you can do anything? It's only up to you, right? Now take a look to see if there's still some feelings there about whatever it is that you want to do. Have more abundance, have freedom and imperturbability, limitlessness. And see if you have some feelings about it. Maybe you feel like I've been working at it for a long time and it's just so much effort. I'm just going to enjoy whatever I can out of life. And that's good enough for me. And maybe you have some frustration or some feeling like that. And that was a feeling that you've been resisting. Now that you've got some of that resistance out of the way, could you invite up that feeling, whatever it is that you're feeling about what it is that you'd really like to do? And let go of pushing down on that feeling. Just allow it to arise. And just open up and let that feeling pass on through. Just let it go. And even more, just allow it to leave. Watch it leave. And even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And notice how you feel now. See if you're bothered about it. See if you still have any aversion to doing what you really want to do. See, you're just walking around with an aversion to it and putting it off and not doing it. That's not smart. Do what you want to do. And be unlimited. That's a smart thing to do. Now see if you have any fear about it. Maybe you feel like, well, life is as good as it's going to get right now. And I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to put myself out there because I don't know what's out there. And who knows? Maybe Lester's a kook. How do I know what he's really talking about? How do I know if that's the truth? Well, look, you don't need to know. All you have to do is just notice. Whenever you release, whenever you let go of your resistance, you let go of your fear, you let go of any negativity, it gets lighter, right? You get happier. And you get more capable. And things start happening in your life, right? What's wrong with that? Now, what would it take to go all the way with that? What could you do with your life if you let go of all of your fear? Now, who's that up to? Can anybody else let your fear go for you? Can anyone else do it but you? It's up to you. So just measure your fear right now on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the most fearful, and 0 being the least fearful. And wherever you're at, could you just say yes to that fear so you can let that fear go? And could you say yes to it even more? And say yes to that fear even more. And say yes to that fear even more. Just say yes to it. It's that simple. Why yes? Could you say yes to it even more? And even more. And even more. And see where you are now on a scale of 0 to 10. Did you move? Do you feel lighter, more courageous, more confident and certain? And isn't that worth it? So maybe Lester is onto something. Maybe you can do it too. So why let anything stop you? Why not take this tool that you have available to you right now and make your whole life a masterpiece? See it all the way through. Don't accept any limitation. Get to the place where you can do anything. You can. It's your true nature. And ultimately, the only thing that's stopping you is identifying with those sounds in your head. It's just in your head where you hear that sound. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. That's impossible. I tried it and I failed. It just sounds in your head. And all those sounds are just recordings that you put in from the past. So just clean it up. Erase all that stuff. Get to the place where you're really coming from your beingness. And you can step into that right now. See, right now, just come from the place where you don't exist. Just come from that position right now that you don't even exist. You, your name, your persona, who you think you are. Just assume for the moment that that doesn't even exist. It's just a story in your mind. It doesn't exist anywhere outside of that mind. It's not even real. Just step into that. And come from the position that the world doesn't exist. How do you know? You're only experiencing it through your mind. But just assume right now that it's not even real. And notice what you're experiencing now. See if you've gotten quieter, calmer, more peaceful. Now, if you aren't your ego, if you aren't your mind, if you aren't your body, and the world isn't even here, then who are you? What are you? And just take whatever comes to you right now. Just notice what you're experiencing when you look in this direction. And is there any limitation here? Is there any I can't? And what you're beginning to do is look at the real you. So what's your decision? How about deciding to join us at the 9-day Lester's Way retreat in Holland, where we're going to spend an amazing 9 days experiencing the truth in ourselves, so you can get to the place where you have no limitation and you see it and you demonstrate it and you live your life with no limitation. And can you see that the only thing that's stopping you from living that way is feelings? So join us for these 9 days where we're going to knock out all of these feelings so you can just step into this place once and for all. It's who you really are. And you deserve to live this way now, not put it off, and not just sit on limitations, but step up and own your birthright. So click the link below and join us in Holland for the 9-day Lester's Way retreat.